Or no, is he ready?
Yes, he is.
All right. I'd like to call the Tuesday, March 3rd, 6:30 7 o'clock regular board meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Southgate's mission statement, Learning for Life. Vision statement is Southgate Community Schools, the best choice for students and parents. Moving on to item D, revisions, approval agenda. Do we have any?
Mr. President, I'd like to make a revision to the agenda and add action item number 2, Chromebook purchase, 6 through 12, social studies, and 9 through 12, ELA.
Okay. Approving action item 2. Is there a second to that motion?
Support.
Supported by Mr. Craig. All right. And do we have any questions for staff? Or any discussion on the item? Seeing none, I will call the question. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign.
Make a motion.
I thought we were adding it, right?
You're just adding it.
Oh.
You don't have to have a discussion on adding the agenda.
All right. And then we're going to go to citizens' comments. No citizens today. And then item F, presentations. We have an update on the third grade reading legislation. Ms. Pastor, you're leading that discussion?
Yes, so just a quick update. I did give you a pretty detailed letter with some additional items that were released by the Michigan Department of Education. The highlight in the packet is sort of as a result of our focus on literacy in general, the governor has increased significant funding for literacy coaches. And the last page of that packet is a letter from Wayne Risa regarding an educator on loan, that they're willing to reimburse the district up to $112,000 for the 2021 school year for a K-3 literacy coach, and all of the details are there. The I know that most of you know that at the K-5 level we have a fully in place multi-tiered system of support, and that has 3 tiers. So tier 1 is done by the classroom teacher. When they recognize that someone is struggling, they do things like small group instruction for services. Tier 2 is about 2 or 3 days a week, and they are pulled out of their classroom generally by the reading specialist or a Title I interventionist. And then if they continue to struggle at tier 3, they are pulled out about 4 or 5 times a week. We also offer a Title I funded summer school that is free for students in K-5. We have been completing IRIPs, so part of that letter talks about the individualized reading improvement plans. So basically when a student is struggling in English language arts, they would get an IRIP. And the IRIP includes an at-home reading component. And I know some of this sounds redundant, but I just wanted to remind you of some things. In November, we had that third grade literacy dance party where the students were dancing with DJ Pystrak from Allen. The reading specialist did really help explain the components of the law and the possible good cause exemptions. So each family did leave with a book. So from the Magic Treehouse series and a bookmark, and I just gave you a sample of that bookmark. The families also had an opportunity to win a reading series, some reading series books, and a comfy place to read. We followed it up with a letter to those families who didn't show up with an example of what the good cause exemption letter might look like for this spring. And then next week for conferences, the families of the students who, based on the winter NWEA result, if they were projected to be partially proficient or not proficient on the M-STEP, we are sending a letter with a new good cause exemption form. So when the MDE released some of this additional information on February the 18th, I believe, they did have an example of a new good cause exemption form, and the parents are getting those next week during parent-teacher conferences. So I am also working with the tech department so that we can have a link on our website for parents for more information about this reading law, the reading legislation, the good cause exemptions, and so that.
Is this document available for them as well? This two-page document that you've?
So they're getting a briefer, one-page document that sort of reminds them of the things that we did in the fall.
Okay.
And then they are getting a good cause exemption form. And just to remind you, or it's in your packet, but some of the good cause exemptions include students on an IEP, students with a 504 plan, students that are limited in English, students that have received reading intervention for 2 or more years, have been retained. And so there is a place where parents can put a rationale. The decision is then on the superintendent to make the final decision on whether retention is right. I have met with all the third grade teachers in the district, and we are looking at if a student might be projected to not be proficient. We're collecting some work samples and some portfolios to help make that one of the good cause exemptions. So we are really working to make sure that students that may not do so well on this one test this one day don't get held back in third grade, that we move them on to fourth grade. As if you remember, I told you that we would have had 6 last year, and of that 6, almost all of them were involved in our multi-tiered system of support. So we had 12, but 6 of them were automatically, because they had IEPs, so they're all special education students. So we'll know sometime this spring. They moved up the M-STEP window by about a week so that we can move the process up, and they'll be getting the retention letter not from us, but from the Michigan Department of Education through CEPI. So if you have any questions, I just wanted to give you, we've really spent a lot of time, both from my office, and the reason that I'm doing it is because I'm the elementary person, I'm the K-5 person. Michelle does the 6 through 12 multi-tiered system of support. But meeting with the teachers, getting the portfolios ready, looking at all of this has really taken a lot of time. And we want to make sure that we're doing the right things for students, so.
Great.
When's the timeline for this exemption to be filed with the state?
So once they get the letter from the state, they actually have 30 days to email the or send a letter, email, turn it into the office. The good part about it is I will get the information at the same time, and if originally they were going to send it this summer, and we may have had a hard time getting a hold of parents, but now they're talking about sending it in May or early June so that we'll be able to connect with those families before they go home for the summer to get those good cause exemption letters. So.
And then they have 10 days to respond with that good cause exemption.
So the official thing is they have 30 days, and then I have to let them know 30 days prior to the start of school.
Okay.
But there's no reason to make them wait that long.
And the RESA's literacy consortium, is that for teachers or?
It's for a K-3 literacy coach,
Okay.
and they're calling that person an educator on loan because they'll still be employed by us, be in our contract. They're just going to reimburse us the $112,000 for their salary.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for Ms. Pastor? Okay. Thank you. Moving down to item G, the consent agenda, which contain our minutes from our February 25th, 2020 regular board meeting. That's it, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Support.
Dr. Pomponio and Mr. Green. Any discussion? Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. And then we'll move down to action. So the first action item we have today is the approval of district-wide professional development advisory committee. And who will be presenting that?
Myself?
All right, please.
All right, effective October 1st of 2019, Section 10 of the State School Aid Act, MC 388, .1701, Section 10, adopted by the state legislature, was amended to include new provisions. According to the new law, a district may count up to 38 hours of qualifying professional development time for teachers as hours of pupil instruction if all the requirements are satisfied. One of the requirements is a district-wide professional development committee appointed by the district school board, and they recommend at least 8 hours of professional development. The advisory committee must be composed of teachers employed by the district who represent a variety of grades and subject matter specializations, including special education, non-teaching staff, parents, and administrators. The majority membership of the committee shall be composed of teaching staff, and therefore, we have 2 alternates in case a teacher is not able to attend.
Thank you. Any question for staff regarding this action item? No? All right. Hearing none, I'll take a motion, entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the district-wide Professional Development Advisory Committee and appoint the following members: Les Armstrong, Dr. Baker Herring, Rachel Cannon, Jason Doyle, Kimberly Gervais, Dina Santilli, Tim Son, Ryan Furcus, Paul Pates, I keep messing it up. Yes, as alternatives.
All right.
So just to clarify, Tim Sohn is the last member, and the last 2, Brian Furcus and Paul Piez, are just alternates, just so we make sure that we meet that majority requirement.
Okay. Is there a second to that motion?
Support.
Thank you, Mr. Craig. And any discussion? All right. I'll call the question. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, moving down to action item number 2, Chromebook purchase, 6 to 12 social studies and 9 to 12 ELA. Who will be presenting this tonight?
That's me.
Yes, please.
So this is an updated quote due to the change in the availability of the Chromebook model that was previously approved for this action item at a previous board meeting. We have been purchasing HP G5 Hewlett-Packards. The model that technology is recommending for our purchase to replace this, as these are no longer available, is an HP 14A. This model is an increase of $7.95 per Chromebook. And so the reason this is a late addition to tonight's agenda is that not only is this an increase in prices for each individual Chromebook, if we were to wait till the next board meeting after March 9th, it would then be an additional $8 per Chromebook for the Google management licenses. So they made me aware of that, and I thought I'd better see if we could put it on the agenda tonight.
Thank you, Dr. Baker Herring. Would someone like to present a motion?
I have questions for
Oh,
staff.
pardon me, question for staff, pardon me.
So this is something that we already approved, right?
You already approved, the original was for the HP G5 model.
What's the difference in price in the, I mean, I know it's $7 per Chromebook. Is it,
It's a total of $3,297 difference from the previous quote.
okay, so we approved close to this amount.
It was 127-ish, and now it's 135.50.
So we need to approve the whole amount again, or just, we don't need to just approve the additional, we need to approve the whole amount again?
So we put it as not to exceed that night, and it would have said not to exceed the 120.
So we're not doing.
I put not to exceed on this, too.
Yep. So I don't.
We're just pushing up our not to exceed number by $3,200.
And noting that it's a different quote because of the new model.
Okay.
Therefore, I think it would require a new motion since the information's changed, probably, yes?
Sure.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Sorry. I'd like to make a motion to approve the purchase of 6 through 12 social studies and 9 through 12 ELA Chromebook carts to be purchased from the dedicated enhancement millage funds, not to exceed $130,551.
Support?
Dr. Peponio and Mr. Craig. All right, bring the discussion back to the table. Any other discussion regarding this quote? Seeing none, I will call the question. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, and next, we're going to move to employee representatives. No, all you employees out there don't want to speak? Okay. Move past that. Next, information and announcements. Dr. Pampagna.
Congratulations to the winner, varsity competitive cheer. They're heading to Grand Rapids for state finals. Also, March 4th, there's Powder Buff game, it's volleyball, and that's $5, no passes. And also, 10 o'clock, Saturday, March 7th, there's, oh my God. Oh, that's for the competitive cheer, if you wanted to attend that and support the girls.
How do you read that?
I usually type it, but I have to write it real fast. That's all I have.
That's all you
Thank
got. Okay, thank you. Any other?
Congratulations, girls.
I'd like to wish,
Freitas.
I'd like to wish the girls varsity basketball good luck tomorrow in their state, or their district playoff game against River Rouge, and that'll be at Riverview High School at 7 o'clock.
All right.
Wrestling? Was that?
Wrestling.
Any other board members supposed to speak? All right. And
Go ahead.
So I'd like to remind everyone that we do have our bond vote next Tuesday, March the 10th. We are anticipating a good turnout and a vote, so we are asking you to vote. And if you have any questions about what the bond entails, we welcome phone calls or emails. We have posted many things on our website that include the major components of the bond. Again, please call us. Please get out and vote on March 10th.
Thank you. Anything else? All right. Take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
And Mr. Craig
Support?
and Dr. Pampagna. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned, 7:22.